Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning is a 2025 American spy film directed by Christopher McQuarrie. It's the sequel to Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1 and the eighth and final installment in the Mission Impossible series. Starring Tom Cruise, Haley Atwell, Ving Rhames, Simon Pegg, and others. I just got out the theater and I thought it was pretty decent. So, just wanted to talk about it. So, here's my quick review for Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, and also going to give my scores for the entire Mission Impossible series in this video. IMF agent Ethan Hunt and Grace pursue Gabriel, an agent previously working for the artificial intelligence known as the Entity, uh, carrying over from the last movie. And Gabriel captures them and coerces Ethan into retrieving the core module, revealed to be the rabbit's foot. It's basically a MacGuffin, and that was my problem with the movie. It was mostly MacGuffin hunting, stuck in with exposition every now and then. The pacing was off too, so um, yeah, they were sending Ethan after one MacGuffin after another, and it was decent. Ethan and Grace escapes with the aid of IMF agent Benji Dunn and new recruits Paris and Theo. They then discover that Gabriel used to communicate with the entity. He had a device and it showed Ethan a vision of an upcoming nuclear apocalypse. I don't know how that happened. That was like some prophetic, like dream state stuff. I was like, where did that come from? Ethan then realizes that the entity needed access to secure a digital bunker in South Africa to ensure its survival. And that's another thing. The entity's motivation in this movie as a villain or as the main bad force, very bizarre. Not my favorite Mission Impossible bad guy, but that's neither here nor there. Ethan sends his team to retrieve the coordinates, and then he rejoins Luther to disarm a nuclear device Gabriel planted in London. Luther then reveals that he developed a malware for the entity called the Poison Pill, but Gabriel stole it. So they had to go and find a MacGuffin again. And again, out of everything in this movie, the MacGuffin hunting and the endless supposition and endless exposition that was thrown in, long cutscenes with just endless talking, mostly about stuff we already knew. And that's the biggest problem with this movie. This movie doesn't trust its audience and it doesn't let us understand the story and just keep it moving. You know, they have to do little things to tell us what came before. And I just find those exposition scenes non-necessary for me. But anyway, Ethan then surrenders to U.S. President Erica Sloan, and I guess that was supposed to be a stand-in for Kamala Harris, but she didn't win, so this looks kind of foolish. But that's neither here nor there. She urges Ethan to cooperate due to the entity escalating control over global nuclear systems. So from there, they head to the bunker in South Africa, only to find it abandoned, save for Gabriel and his allies. Uh, he retrieves another nuclear device with a 20-minute countdown demanding the module. Ethan and them agrees, but handover is interrupted by Cathridge, who wants the U.S. to control the entity. And don't get me wrong, this movie, when they went into the ocean and there was a set piece where it was the submarine was rolling on the ocean floor, and that was spectacular, honestly, jaw-dropping. It was awe-inspiring. A lot of the action scenes, and the action scene with the plane, if you go and see this movie, see it on the biggest screen you can in IMAX. it's definitely worth it. Dead Reckoning had some great set pieces. That's where I can look at this and say it's honestly up there in terms of stunts. In my Mission Impossible canon, it's probably the best movie when it comes to stunts. I really enjoyed it. But from there, I don't want to give away too much more of the plot because I feel like it's something you should go and see for yourself. I just wanted to give a brief overview and just talk about my thoughts. Um, for cinematography, it was beautifully shot. It's probably one of the better Mission Impossible movies, just aesthetic and frame by frame. I give it 2 full points for that. The plot, oh god, the plot again. It was just mostly MacGuffin hunting and then long exposition scenes where characters are just vomiting dialogue, and it's fine, but it's like give a compelling way to give information. But this movie didn't do that, so I have to give only half a point for the plot. Um, pacing was off. This movie felt way longer than it should have been, but the intermittent stunts really cut up the time. So I have to give it at least a point for that. Characters, they had a lot of them. It was an ensemble cast. Everyone had equal time acting, and we had a lot of B and A list movie stars in this. So plot. I mean, the characters were good. It was a lot of them, but if you haven't really known or caught up with the series by now to know all the characters, it's kind of like Marvel. You're kind of screwed. You got to go from the beginning. So I'll give the characters a point. Um, Settings. Um, okay settings. Theme and ideas okay as well. I mean, this movie wasn't anything too special. So overall, I don't have to give it a movie, but it's still um, awe-inspiring. And Tom Cruise, I still feel like he's one of the better um, movie stars in Hollywood still today. And I think he's probably one of the last movie stars. Also, Haley Atwell. God, man, Haley Atwell, man. I ain't gonna say nothing. Haley Atwell. God damn, I'm gonna put up some pictures. Haley Atwell, my goodness. Milkmaid. I'm sorry, but that's beside the point. 6 out of 10. Decent movie. Go see it on a big screen if you can. It's the final Mission Impossible. I'll put up the scores for my thoughts on the rest of the Mission Impossible series right here. But it's definitely worth it. Good movie. Um, it wasn't my favorite Mission Impossible though. But that's all. Uh, just wanted to give my quick thoughts. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you thought about the movie down below. Appreciate you listening this far. Uh, Turn on post notifications. Follow the socials if you can. Anime Senpai Zero on all socials. I'm just talking about movies, music, games, whatever. Um, that's all. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.